Once again, I'm Sassy Mint Grace, and I'm going to read you chapter 3. It's a shorter chapter. Um, doesn't seem to hold as much excitement or action as the earlier two, but hopefully you'll stay with us anyway. So here I am opening the file again. Someday I'm going to figure out how to keep it open so I won't have to do this at the beginning of everything. But it only takes a second. What this morning's chapter is about is insight into MJ's thinking, into who is MJ? Who is this character that's been arrested for terrorism? What is she all about anyway? What could possibly be behind her being arrested for terrorism? It is really interesting to see that she seems like kind of a peaceable soul, but somehow she's in jail for terrorism. Well, we're almost there. And we're almost there still. Okay, chapter 3, Hope's Kiss. She laid down on her bed, went over the last weeks trying to figure out why she was here. She spent her days simply enough. Each morning after breakfast, she completed some form of exercise and wrote at least 3 pages in her journal. After that, she would do a reading out of her Science of Mind text before beginning the day's writing. Her wife would often bring her a cup of herbal tea at mid-morning and mid-afternoon. She broke at points throughout the day to make calls for people she was advocating for, or listen to archived lessons, or read the blog from the educational institute she studied with online. This was a group she'd begun to study with 4 years earlier. The founder was a scientist with multiple doctorates who taught what MJ had suspected for years. This idea that humanity was all connected, like the Borg had been on Star Trek The Next Generation. But instead of being a conscienceless creature with a rapacious hunger to conquer humanity, this philosophy claimed that within each human soul was a spark that longs to return to all the others that comprise the original creature. Not only does he believe this, but he can scientifically validate how it is a fact. First year she subscribed to the courses, she watched the TV channel and downloaded the textbooks. She kept waiting for a request for money, but none ever came. The world became smaller each night as she joined lessons in progress and learned with groups of people in rooms linked up throughout the internet from all over the world. There were men, women, all ages, races, nationalities, and religions among the students. The programs were all translated into 30 languages. Conventions were held regularly around the world with lectures broadcast live, and attendees danced and sang with linked arms emanating love and goodwill towards all. Their belief was that we were once all one creature who was divided so we might experience material form. Here in this life, we go through phases to return to the original source where we remember we are all connected and that what we do to our brother, sister, or environment, we do to ourselves. To MJ, this was the ultimate wisdom encapsulating all compassion in one fell swoop. Her writing projects were inspired by several passions, among them the decriminalization of marijuana and a new approach to protecting children from sexual abuse and pregnancy. Her younger years had been spent educating women about their body and the right to orgasm. She did this on a one-to-one basis as well as through an educational radio show she produced called The Sex Spot. 17 years ago, she had written the Cannabis Manifesto, but it collected dust for the most part until recently. Finally, the government had seen fit to allow cannabis cafes what better place to finally spread the seeds of information to a more open minded? If only she could find a way to disseminate the teenager's Bible pamphlet. End of chapter 3. So, that's all, folks. See you next time.